Peace and blessings, everyone. So this is a video response to TonyaTKO's video, TonyaTKO The Hypocrite, and she wanted us to make a video and speak about our own hypocrisies that we do. First off, I think in general people tend to ignore, our own hypocritical actions. We take an apathetic view to them, just ignore them, not even think about them. But for me, I am constantly, daily battling with being a hypocrite. I question myself constantly on the things that I do, if I'm being a hypocrite or not. Some examples are the fact that I am so against money. I hate money, can't stand money. I believe we need to get rid of money that does no good whatsoever for us. But at the same time, I live in a society. I take part in a society. I pay bills. I buy material objects. I bring in income. So that's hypocritical, right? But what are my choices? Really, basically, I can stop paying bills. I can stop taking money. Stop buying material objects and go run off to the mountains somewhere, or the woods somewhere, and just be a hermit or something. Really. But in doing so, I gotta deal with the fact that I have 5 kids to take care of. So, it's not really ideal. There are some people who, who run off to the woods, become survivalists. Is that something I should do? I actually think about that. I wonder about that's something I should do. That's hard work. But at the same time, if I do that, then at the same time, will I be able to help people that I believe I need to be helped and do the things I want to do? So, that brings to issue about my company that, I have, that I'm trying to really build up. And I've spoken on this before. Should I have this company? Even though, I proclaim I want to try to do good things with it, but still, I'm dealing with money, and I can't stand money. So I'm being a hypocrite. So, it's a constant battle. But I think the important thing is that I do acknowledge it, and I do attempt to prevent it on a daily basis. I believe I've seen a video, read an article, and it asked that, when we are opposed to something, and I can't remember if it gave marriage as the example or if I just end up thinking about marriage as the example, because of the fact that I've done a video speaking on same-sex marriage. But in essence, if you're one that stands up for same-sex marriage, and so you are fighting against the current system here in the United States, which says it's against the law to be married to a person of same sex, even on some states, like here in California, they've passed a law, it's going back and forth of it being constitutional, unconstitutional, whatnot. But if you are heterosexual and you believe that homosexuals should have the right to be married, and there's a law in your state against same-sex marriages, then should you yourself get married? Because if you do that, then aren't you perpetrating a problem? Aren't you just partaking and benefiting from that discriminating, corrupt system? Aren't you being a hypocrite? So should you not, in part of your fight against that system, should you not partake in that system? So I think that's a very valid question. And so, like I said, I deal with that constantly on what it means with the things I put forth with my spirituality. So the battle between in the spiritual realm is the battle between spirituality and materialism. So once again, getting caught up in these material things, even having this camera, my computer and whatnot, partaking in this thing, this YouTube and the internet and whatnot. But once again, I'm attempting to use it, for good cause. I really am. I'm trying to bring forth truth, but am I just making an excuse? Am I being a hypocrite? And if I am, is it a bad thing? So I guess it's on level. If I'm doing something here critical for the benefit of all people, then is it bad? And of course, I've spoken before. The good and bad is such, a subjective thing. So is hypocrisy itself a bad thing? And I would say it's not, because I don't deal in good and bad. So the truth is, if one is being hypocritical, then that's the truth. They're being a hypocrite. We deem it as being bad because you're doing something opposite of what you say. But in dealing with truth, if one is being a hypocrite, then they're just being a hypocrite. They're saying one thing and doing the other. And so, I don't put it in the class of good and bad, but I do deem that it's necessary that I try to abide by that which I speak, because the fact that I want to lead and guide you. So if I'm doing the old saying of do as I say, do as I do, I don't think that's beneficial for you. I don't think it's right. Once again, right and wrong subject thing, but it's something I choose, and in general the society does, but like I said, I wouldn't say it's right or wrong or good or bad. So that's my bad. That's my the hypocritical thing that I do. But like I said, I focus on it daily, constantly, and try to question in truth of what it is I should do, if I should continue, and how I should go about the things that I do. God bless everyone. Peace and love.